If you have a belt or a strap, grab that too. And we're gonna start lying down. So find that edge of that blanket and then just roll over the back of it. Fall back on it. Open the chest. Open it up. Take a deep breath in and out. And in. So we're just starting with some 4-part breath. So it's a nice long inhale, a pause, a nice long exhale, a pause, and just have your feet straight on the mat, or if that doesn't work for you right off the bat because our body's pretty cold early in the morning, well, it's 8 o'clock, but it feels really early to me. So you can drop your knees together as your body opens. Begin gently breathing with that 4-part breath. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. So begin to drop in. Begin to allow yourself to drop into the space of on your mat, nowhere to go, nothing to do. Just allowing the breath to bring you inside. I'm going to get quiet, but I'm still here. Two more rounds. And as you finish the round, you'll finish it on the exhale. And then begin your normal breath. And the Ujjayi is invited if you want to bring that in to have a more intentional breath, just to be more present with your breathing. And begin that internal scan. Notice what's happening. Where's the body holding on? Where might you be able to soften into the resistance? Just notice. There's no right way, there's no wrong way. There is a way. So Ujjayi breath, noticing what is holding in your body. Noticing how you can bring the breath to that holding and open it and allow it to soften. And you know, if it's not ready to soften, that's okay. Just notice that. And on the next inhale, we're going to begin to bring our feet into standing, and we're just going to roll to the right side and pull that blanket out from behind us, moving it out of the way. Finding your strap, if you haven't put it too far away like I did. Finding that strap, coming flat on your back. We're going to lengthen through the right leg with the strap. So, since this is our very first opening movement, you're going to have to let your leg lengthen through the heel and not be where it is at the end of class, but where it is at the beginning of class. So for me, that's at about a 70-degree angle, and that's okay. Engage that core and gently begin to draw that foot in. It's not very far for me. Breathe into it, allowing it to gently expand through the hamstrings, expand through the heel. And if you don't have a strap, you can do this by means of just lifting your leg up and lengthening through the heel. Feel that core be strong. Notice how on each exhale, it travels a little bit deeper. And then on the inhale, lengthen through the heel, engage that core. And on the exhale, for about 4 inches to the left, draw that hip across the body. This is going to open the deep rotators of the hip. It's not a twist, so your back is flat on the floor. Breathe into it. Excellent. Bringing it back to center. Opening it about 4 inches the other direction. So this is not a big dynamic movement. This is a gentle movement in cold muscles, warming them up and inviting them in. And inhaling back to center. Release that knee. Bring the right foot to standing as you draw that left foot in and hook that belt around. Follow your foot, lengthening through the right leg, through the left leg, growing long, breathing into it, lengthening. On the exhale, bringing it in. Really find that Ujjayi breath. Excuse me. A little bit more. Finding your breath. And as you find your edge, just drawing that foot forward. Hold it there, right on the edge. Breathe into the resistance. On the next inhale, draw that to the right. Cross your body 4 inches. Hips are still flat on the floor. You're going to feel this. On this leg, it's different for me. I feel it on the IT band, the outside of my leg, deep in my rotators, down the outside of my leg. Just notice. Bringing it back to center, opening it out 4 inches out. Just changes it. It's not even far enough to really get the adductors as much as it is to soften through those deep rotators. Massage, this is actually a shortening of the muscle, which actually helps to open it up a little bit more. Bringing it back to center, releasing that knee in, letting go of the strap, bringing both knees in, gently begin to rocking side to side, opening those knees up, heading to happy baby. Or Thursday morning, 8 o'clock, it might be dead bug. You do whichever posture is best for you. Grabbing a hold of that big toe. And if you really want to invite into the immune system, you can use your first finger or your middle finger and just press down on the pad of your toe, big toe, while you're doing this. It stimulates the pituitary gland. The pituitary gland is the governing gland of all the other glands in the body that control our hormones. So to help build a healthy body, balance our hormones, creating balance within the system, breathing into it, lengthening through the crown of your head. That might be a tip in your chin. Notice all those little things. Excellent. Releasing those feet together, coming into supine cobbler. See if you can bring the soles of your feet together. You may or may not. It's okay. It doesn't matter. Drawing it in. Nice deep breath here. And then release those knees out. And we're going to begin to rock spinal rolls. And just rolling along the spine. This kind of stimulates the spine. It hits the adrenal glands. Begins to open up the back side of the body. And it just feels good. So I inhale on the way back and exhale on the way up. It's also a really nice core exercise. Really gets the body energy moving in the body. We're going to do 2 more. And last one, coming all the way up into the seated. Finding the sit bones, dropping out of the shoulders, going long in the crown. Close your eyes. Do a little inventory, checking through this inventory. Seeing what's happening in the body. So the energy is moving in my body now. My neck is wanting to move on its own. If there's any spontaneous movement that's happening, follow it. See where the body might move in your body. In your experience. Inhaling the hands up, exhaling to the left. We're going to be opposite, inhaling up, exhaling to the right, as if you're flowing in the wind. Inhaling. Exhaling, inhaling. And exhaling. Inhaling and flying forward, just heading straight forward. So as you head forward, your back is flat, shoulders are down, and then begin to soften in that upper back as if you're heading into cat. And then while you're in cat, exhale and lower down a little bit further. This is just a beautiful lengthening all the way from the tail to the crown of the head. Inhaling, lengthening up. Deep breath. Inhaling the hands up. Exhaling, this time twisting to the right. Twisting all the way to the right. Opening that ascending colon. Opening everything in the center of the body. All the organs are there. The liver is on the right side. Breathing into it. Inhaling your hands up. Exhaling the other direction. Twisting into it. Catching the descending colon, the spleen, the stomach. All these great wringing out motions. Inhaling the hands up. And let's move with this. Exhaling. Looking over the shoulder. Long exhale. Inhaling up. Exhaling other direction. Inhaling up. Exhaling other direction. Yes. Inhaling, exhaling. So what comes to mind for me is as we inhale our hands up, we're welcoming what today has to offer. And we're exhaling everything we no longer need. And we're inhaling everything good to come towards us. And exhaling everything we're finished with. One more time, each way. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Beautiful. Inhaling, coming right to center. Exhaling down. Hands come right onto our knees. We're going to inhale right into cow. So really bring that heart forward. Exhaling back. So for those of you at home, it looks like this. Inhaling forward. Exhaling back. See if you can really find yourself rolling along those sit bones and kind of rocking through that pelvic bowl. Yeah. Inhaling. And exhaling. Might have some movement in the joints, that's okay. Exhale. Two more, inhaling up. Exhaling back. Last one, inhaling up. Exhaling back. Releasing those legs into Dandasana and embracing my favorite. I'm really encouraging myself to let this be my favorite pose. So if it is your favorite pose, drink it in. Hands come up, staff pose, Dandasana right here, nice and tall. Exhaling, heading straight forward, flat back. When you find resistance, stop. Now, if you have your belt handy and you want to, you can hook it around your feet and lengthen your arms. If you're super stretchy and you can grab that big toe and encourage the pituitary gland to open, do that. You can also, if you're super stretchy, you can hook your hands around the end of your feet and encourage yourself. And then I have even seen people who are stretchy enough to hook their entire forearm around their feet. So I will dream in that area, but I will live with my belt. So remember, energy goes where energy flows. So if you're thinking about it, that's where you're headed. Choose your thoughts wisely. Breathing into it. Dropping in. Imagine with each exhale, you're sinking lower, lower into this, becoming more open in the back body, more open in the hamstrings. Lengthening through your crown. I think I mentioned the other day that I have this tendency to kind of go through life with my chin up. And what does it feel like to bring yourself into neutral spine? What shows up on the mat is showing up in life. So if we're always looking forward, instead of just being centered and neutral and here present, we miss what's happening right now. Excellent. Inhaling the hands up, dropping your strap, circling them around. Let them come down beside you, and wherever your palms meet the floor, softly, then work those palms into the floor. Okay? So this is an interesting experience when they're out to the side. Rather than catching the neck muscles, the arm muscles come into place. Spread your fingers wide. And it's really an interesting experience for me because I use my hands a lot, so my forearms really feel this. And I feel a burst of warm energy through my body. So just notice all those little intricate changes in the body. In the experience. Excellent. Inhaling the hands up. Big circle. Circle them around behind you, bringing them right behind you, and lifting straight up into reverse plank. Oh, reverse plank is showing up again today. Hello. Engage that core. Lengthen through, drop out of the shoulders. Find your breath. 2 more. 1 more. Exhaling, lowering down. Finding those sit bones. Might always get a little lost when they go up and come back down. Inhaling the hands up. Exhaling, flying forward. You can invite your strap back in. Perhaps you're going a little deeper this time. Honor what your body's asking for. The body knows. The mind, the thinking mind, likes to think that it knows. Frequently, thinking mind is wrong. So really explore that. Explore when that monkey jumps in and says, oh, you can go deeper. And your body's saying, no, don't go deeper. Honor the body. That quiet little voice behind the monkey always knows. Spirit. Breathing into it. Drinking it in. Nowhere to go. Nothing to do. Softening into the experience right now. Notice if there's heat beginning to build in the body. Notice if the mind is wanting to jump in and narrate what's happening. Give that monkey something to do. Let it watch your breath. So from right here, let go of your strap, but don't come up. If you have the space to take a hold of your right hand onto your left foot, do that. If you can't reach your right foot, take a hold of the outside of your calf. Spin the left hand around and then up. How's this for a twist? Breathe into it. Let the energy move. This catches the transverse muscles. Those are our waist muscles. Opens the serratus anterior. Those are the muscles in between the ribs. Sink into it. So the sinking is a little bit forward. It's a little bit of the right shoulder headed to the right leg. Beautiful, looking good. Inhaling, coming back, coming out of the twist first. Back to Dandasana. Now, we're going to just stay here and sink forward again. And how do you sink forward this time? Do you sink more deeply? Does one side sink more deeply? Sometimes we'll have one side of the back that is tight, that's causing our resistance of the sinking. And so it's an interesting exploration to discover what releases in the body to give us more space. Just notice. Deep breath. Inhale, exhale. We're going to do that 2 more breaths. And then we're going to take our left hand and take a hold of the right toe or the outside. So if you have to come up a little, because I have extra flesh in the middle, so I have to kind of encourage it to come over. That's okay, no judgment. Inhaling your hand up, whoo, and sink into it. So this direction is very different for me. Notice if it's the same or different. Notice the differences. The differences are okay. It's more about noticing. Dropping out of that left shoulder, mind's wanting to help me. Coming up to my ear, what does it feel like to drop out of it? Breathing into it. Inhaling, coming out of that twist, coming back forward, sinking back down. I can actually reach my toes now. Those twistings gave me more space in my low back, more space in the back of my legs. How is it different for you? Just notice. Dropping down, we're going to have 4 more breaths here. Soften into it. Excellent. Inhaling, coming up. Hands come down beside you. Wherever they contact the floor, press into the floor. Grow long in the crown. Inhaling the hands back up. Exhaling, circling them around and coming behind you. This time we're just going to lean back into it. Notice. And then come up, point those toes, press up into reverse plank. Exhaling, lowering down. Shake those legs out. Shake those arms out. Let go of the neck. Let everything go. Spinning around. Oh, Dandasana enter. Spinning around. I mean, not Dandasana. Cobbler's pose. Bring those feet together. We're going to do a couple cat-cows right here. So inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling into cat. Exhaling into cat. Really feel that rolling through the pelvic bowl. So roll up on this sit bones, roll back. Roll up and roll back. 2 more. And back. Great. Good job coming right back to center. And then we're going to find our way into downward facing dog. So the best way to get there is to just find your tabletop real quick. Check in. Make sure your knees are underneath your hips. Curl those toes under on the inhale. And exhale back into downward facing dog. And we're not going to stay here. We're going to walk our hands back. Walk them back into forward fold. So look at how wonderful and long that we can lengthen into our forward fold. Drop out of that head. Good. On the next inhale, we're going to roll up 1 vertebrae at a time. Hands come all the way up overhead. And we're going to sink straight down into Utkatasana chair. There it is. Find your breath. There you go. And inhaling, coming straight up. Exhaling those hands down. Tall mountain. So this very simple pose of tall mountain can really be a powerful posture. Start at your feet. Are you sinking into the floor, sinking into that mat? Are the knees soft, but the legs are strong? Imagine that you're softening out of the hips, but strengthening up through the pelvic floor. The belly button's drawing back as you soften in through that tailbone. And you drop out of your shoulders. Your arms are strong because you're reaching towards the floor and the fingers are spread wide. And you're lengthening through your neck all the way up through the crown of your head. And in order to do that, you have to have a slight tip in the chin, not a tuck, just a tip, so you can feel the back of the neck open, each vertebrae lengthening in between, growing tall in the crown. So as gravity works against us over time, drawing us down into the earth, we can grow long and reach our crown to the heavens. Inhaling the hands up. Exhaling, swan dive forward. Ride all the way into forward fold. Let those hands reach all the way down to the floor. Lifting through those sit bones. Legs are still strong. Inhaling, keeping your legs strong. We're going to inhale, roll that back up. Sinking forward into the knees, hands come up, coming right into Utthasa. Feeling the strength and the support of the legs. As the quads open and strengthen at the same time, sinking down into it. What happens if you sink a little bit lower? Find your breath. Breathe into it. Sit back like you're going to sit back on a chair. Core is strong. Letting go of any muscles that don't actually need to be working while you're in this posture. Sinking a little bit lower. Inhaling, rising up. This time as we rise up, you can leave your hands where they are, you can bring them together and hook them. Whatever feels good in your shoulders, but drop out of the shoulders. And on the next exhale, press into that right hip, heading into half moon, Archandasana. Make sure that the weight is still even on your feet, even though you're opening the side body. Inhaling back to center. Exhaling the other direction. Looking good. Inhaling back to center. Exhaling, opening those arms wide, close the eyes. Coming back into mountain. Checking in. This time, I'm going to be quiet and let you do the body check-in. Find your breath. Excellent. Inhaling the hands up. Exhaling, swan dive straight down into forward fold, all the way down. Lengthen in that crown of that head, all the way down. Let go of everything. See if you can let that back body grow a little bit longer. Inhaling, softening the knees, beginning to roll up. Hands come up beside the ears, coming straight into Utthasa. Where can you start this posture? Where can you sink down? Sink down into it. Seated pose. Sitting back on that chair that's not there, but that you can imagine is there. Breathing into it. Inhaling, rising up. This time, take a little bit arching your back as if you're going to just reach behind you. Core is strong, little back bend. Inhaling, coming forward. Exhaling, right into half moon. Keeping square on those feet. It's a natural thing to want to sink into that right foot because that's the hip that's going out. Inhaling, coming back in. Exhaling, other hip out. Lead with your hip, not your shoulders. Excellent. Inhaling, back to center. Hands come down. All the way down into mountain. Check in. The body's beginning to remember, so you're dropping into your perfect mountain every time. Effortlessly. Find your breath. Excellent. Inhaling your hands up. Exhaling, swan dive forward. Coming all the way into forward fold. Notice how each time there's an ease and flow that happens. On this one, take your right hand, put it on the outside of your left ankle. Engage that core and spin open into a twist. Now, the trick here is that you want to kind of lean into it. No, you want to keep yourself square on your feet. Engage your core and twist as far as you can twist. Imagine how beautiful this looks. Breathe into it. Imagine how the spine is lengthening and twisting at the same time as you're strong in the leg, breathing. Two more breaths, you can do it. Inhaling through your fingertips, exhaling, coming out of this twist, pausing in the center, giving a full expression of forward fold. So all we've done here is take Dandasana off the floor and bring it into standing. Taking that left hand, putting it on the outside of the right leg. Inhaling, spinning open the other direction. Twists are really important. They keep us mobile. They keep the muscles in the torso supple and free moving, breathing into it. Inhaling through those fingertips, exhaling, coming back down, again, forward fold. Give your full expression here. Notice how it feels different. Inhaling, begin the journey into sinking into the knees, coming up, rolling up, arms on either side of the ears now. Make sure you don't get too far forward. Sit back, Uttasana. Sink a little bit lower. Inhaling, rising up right here. Clasp your hands or don't, it doesn't matter. Exhaling, headed to the right. Notice what's different. Press into that hip. Press into that hip, good. Inhaling back to center, exhaling, pressing into the hip. Beautiful work. Inhaling back to center, exhaling, straight back. Slight little back bend. Feel that belly button pull into the spine to support that low back. Exhaling up. Inhale, exhaling, hands come down. Mountain. This is like a recovery pose in standing. So this is the standing child pose right here, not really good. Recovery, rest. Opening your eyes just softly so that you can find something to look at on the floor. And we're going to do some balance here. So your hands can come to your hips. They can stay out to the side. Whatever feels really delicious in your body. We're going to do tree because we're pretty open through the hips, through the leg. We're going to pour into that right foot. I'm going to be opposite of you. So everybody's going to their right foot first. Let the weight come off the left foot so that you can feel your core engage, feel those hips balance, and when you're ready, it can come off the floor and into tree. And at this point, if you feel ready to bring your arms in, you may. Find your breath. Exhaling out of your arms. And then stepping out of your tree. I love to give the space through the hips to give them some movement. Circular joints, when they're a solid base and they've done a great job of supporting us, give them some space to open. And then come back into your mountain. Find your mountain pose first. Engage your core, drop into those feet. Grow long in the crown. Pouring into that left foot. Releasing out of the right foot. And then when you're ready, coming into wherever tree is for you. Arms can be bent. Arms can be on your waist. Gently lowering out of your arms. And when you're ready, step out of your tree. Open those legs. Give them some space. Give those hips some space. Yeah, there you go. There it went. Little clunking going on, maybe. So now we're going to just step to the front of our mat. We've been at the back of our mat. Feet are hip distance apart. Inhaling the hands up overhead. Exhaling, swan dive forward. Feel how that's different. Hands on either side of your feet, stepping straight back. Into downward facing dog. Full expression of dog. Just feel this dog, how it feels different than usual. Excellent. Inhaling, moving forward into plank and lowering straight down onto the floor, all the way to the floor. So I'm walking back, so I'm on my mat. Hands are going to come down beside us, palms facing up, lengthening through the left leg, lengthening through the right leg. Forehead to the mat, engage that core. Feel that pubic bone press into your mat and the tops of your feet press into your mat. We're going to inhale, we're going to lift straight up. Right here. Half lotus. Okay? Find your breath. Let the back of your arms be working. Find your breath. Feet are working into the floor. 2 more breaths. Exhale, lower down. Turn your head the opposite direction of it was before when you started. Let go of everything. Release your heels. Release your core. Let everything kind of soften into the floor. Inhaling, turning your chin back to center, lengthen through the left leg, lengthen through the right leg. At this point, if you want to put your hands just under your hip points, you can do that. You don't have to, but you can if you want to. And we're going to inhale, and we're going to lift off the back body. So your lower body, is the front body is, the top body is on the floor. If you can lift it a little bit higher.
And if the chin doesn't work, you can put your forehead on the mat. That might be easier. And exhaling, lowering it down. Turn your head again through the opposite direction. Let everything go. You want to stack your hands. Give yourself a little rocking through that low back. And so now we're headed to everything. So lengthen through those legs. Engage that core. Feel that pubic bone press to the floor. And on the next inhale, lift everything up. Fly. Breathe into it. See if you can deepen this. As you breathe, you might get some rocking going. That's fine. Two more breaths. You can do it. Feel everything be strong and lower down. Pressing all the way back into child's. Whatever child pose looks like for you, let that be your point of recovery. And then find your way to your back. So if you need to do a downward facing dog to get there and jump your legs through, you can do that. Or you can just spin around and go onto your back. Bring your feet to standing. Walk them in close to your behind. So we're not going to do bridge today, and I know a lot of people love doing bridge at the end of class, and that's fine, you can do that, but we're going to do our twists first. And so find your feet standing, hip distance apart. We're going to inhale and roll that back flat onto the floor, and exhale, drop your knees to the left. So now that you've dropped your knees to the left, take your left foot and bring it up on top of your right knee. And if that doesn't work for you, just stay with your knees to the left. Keeping your shoulders on the floor. If you need to pick them up and give yourself a little bit deeper twist in the spine, you can. So allow yourself to sink into this before you bring the neck in. Breathe into it. We're catching some of the IT band, a little teeny muscle called the tensor fasciae latae. It's not very big, but it can really cause a lot of problems if we don't lengthen it. Be mindful of your knees. Inhale, lengthen through your crown, and then look toward your right hand. Find your breath. Drop in. If the core leaves on vacation, invite it back in. It's okay to do micro movements in order to explore the body, see what's happening. This really creates a deep awareness of what's happening with your own self. On the next inhale, bring your nose back to the center and just pause right there. Feel how that's different. Find your breath. Inhale, engage your core and bring those knees back to standing. Notice whether your body is square on the mat, or it may not feel square, so you can wiggle around and let it become square. You might be able to walk those feet in a little bit closer. Bring those shoulder blades underneath you. Inhale, engage that core, press your back to the floor, and drop your knees the other direction. So again, on this side, let the lower body find where it is softening. If you have the space to bring your right foot up and set it on the left knee to deepen this twist, you can. Be mindful of your knees, honor them. That doesn't work in my body, but I like to offer it to those who it might work for. Inhale, lengthen through your crown, and exhale, looking over to your left hand. Deep twist. Catching that tensor fasciae latae. When I was learning my muscles, we called it the tens to hurta latae. It's the muscle that attaches to the IT band that runs down the outside edge of your leg. And so it can actually clear up in your hip, cause trouble in your knee. That's why it's so important to open it up. Only about a 2 to 3 inch long muscle, but it is powerful. Soften into it. Feel the body opening. Breathing into it. Excellent. Inhaling, bringing your nose back to the ceiling. Soften into this. When you're ready, inhale, bring those knees back to center. Wiggle around a little bit. Lengthen through the right leg. Lengthen through the left leg. See. Hands up overhead. Point the fingers, point the toes. Take a deep breath in. Let it go with a big sigh. Right. And bring those knees in. Scoop those knees in, perhaps. And begin to rock side to side. And we're going to head back into happy baby bug. So find your way. If it's there. Looking good. Feel the softening. 2 more breaths. Bring those feet together, the soles of the feet together. Supine Dandasana. Not Dandasana, cobbler's pose. Release those feet, knees to chest. Give yourself a big hug. Ask yourself, do I need anything else? Or am I ready for Shavasana? And if you are ready for Shavasana, find your way. Find your way into on your back. Some of you might like a bridge. Some of you might like more twisting. Some of you might like to just head straight in to Shavasana. Cover up with a blanket. Hold that warmth that you have found. And as you're ready, let those feet fall open, or if your feet are in standing, let the knees drop together. Let the core soften. Let your breath drop into gentle breathing. Let your eyes grow heavy and that mind slip between here and there. Be happy. Talk happiness. Happiness calls out responsive gladness in others. There is enough sadness in the world without yours. Never doubt the excellence and permanence of what is yet to be. Join the great company of those who make the barren places of life fruitful with kindness. Your success and your happiness lie in you. The great enduring realities are love and service. Resolve to keep happy, and your joy and you shall form an invincible host against difficulties. It's written by Helen Keller. And gently begin to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. And as you're ready, you can stay in Shavasana or roll to your side. Coming back to now. Namaste.